Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is MTG Ghoul Dude, and today I want to take a minute to talk about some of the more underrated commanders that we have seen coming out of Assassin's Creed. I know that we have a lot of them blowing up. Ones like Ezio and Sigurd and all the amazing, great commanders that are coming out of Assassin's Creed. But I wanted to take a minute to talk about the ones that we aren't seeing, the ones that aren't seeing as much love. And the one that makes me the most upset, and this is just my personal opinion, the one that makes me the most upset is Eevee and Jacob Fry not seeing more play. I can understand that we do have cards that do pretty much the same thing, but to be able to pretty much just cycle through your deck just even faster and then get those assassins back, I feel like that's even better. Yeah, like I know that you have to spend the time, like what is it, 5 mana to get both of these out to get your engines going. But I mean, at that point, if you already have creatures out, you already start dealing damage. If you get Eevee out, you can start going ahead and throwing all kinds of good stuff into the graveyard to pull back with Jacob, which can be a pretty amazing. And this is the one that upsets me the most because these were some of my favorites from the set that I felt like were going to do great things, but we never saw. So far on EDH Rec, as of this recording, there are 0 decks for one and or both of these, and boy, that really just that tears my heart to pieces because I love Syndicate as a game, but also I feel like these two together, especially with other cards from the Assassin's Creed set, makes this deck so much more powerful, especially when you can find a way to give all of your creatures, they can't be blocked or something like that. It makes it harder for your creatures to block, and then I feel like this deck just builds itself, and because there is card advantage in the command zone and there's recursion in the command zone, that this is just an amazing deck that nobody has tried to build. But we're going to go on ahead and get to the other commanders that I feel like are not being loved as much as I feel like they should be. There's one in particular on this list that is getting some love, but I don't think it's getting love as a commander. So let's go on ahead and get to those, starting off with Roshan, Hidden Magister. Now, essentially, this can be put in any deck that has the black color in it, and you want assassins on your battlefield. Well, I mean, technically, if you throw in a double down, you get extra copies. But at the same time, yes, his ability is not great. I'm not gonna lie. But to have a Roshan Hidden Magister morph deck and disguise deck, a face down deck, if you must, that would be super cool. It would be definitely be interesting. And because they're assassins, you can throw the other assassins from this set into this deck, and it would just buff it up even more. I feel like this one is being underrated, and I feel like it should be shown a little more love, because it does give all your creatures the assassin anthem, which is still pretty cool. And I mean, it does slot into many a decks, especially decks like Jacob Fry and Eevee Fry. So I feel like if this one, I feel like when this one finds its niche, when people start building it, this is going to be the one to kind of, you know what to expect, but at the same time, because you're dealing with face down cards, you're not really going to know exactly what's coming. On to my third pick, pretty much, Arnold Dorian. For 2 and a black and a red, this is a 3/3 legendary creature human assassin with death touch. Other assassins you control get +2/+0, and it has disguise for black and a red. See, now this plays into the Roshan. If you can find a way to get him flipped, if he's not your commander, that's cool too. But I feel like this is a Death Touch Tribal, and we already got a few of those, but I feel like this leans more into it because not only does the commander have Death Touch, but it has the colors, and for assassins to have Death Touch and you get bigger, that's pretty good. So I feel like this one could be pulled in many directions, especially with cards like the new Judith from uh, Murders at Karlov Manor. I feel like this would be good with anything that can help give your other creatures. I mean, you could throw a Roshan in this deck and make all your creatures assassins, and then guess what? If they're they're Death Touch assassins, and then it's just a whole snowball. I mean, this deck could go in so many different ways. I feel like something that would be kooky to do would to be would to build this as Arnold Dorian, Death Touch, Rat Tribal, find a way to always get that Roshan out and give all of your rats +1, +2, +0 along with, whatever else that they got. This would definitely be a different way, a different approach to the rat deck, but it'd be definitely be neat. Then we have Breaker of Chains. I cannot say his first name, and if anybody can put the pronunciation in the comments below, I would definitely appreciate that. But for one, a blue, a black, we have a 4/1 legendary creature, human assassin pirate. Now, this one definitely comes off as one that you would not want to see, but this is bringing something different to the battlefield that some of these other creatures aren't doing from the Assassin's Creed set. And yes, I know Edward Kenway is doing amazing things in the commander format right now. It's one of the leading commanders right now. But this is the knockoff. This is the, hey, Edward Kenway can do it, but I'm going to see if I can do it. I'm going to try and do it better. Because when it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 6 cards of your library, put an assassin, pirate, or vehicle card from among them into your hand, and the rest into the bottom of your library in a random order. This would be a great vehicle deck. It's just right behind, in my opinion, this one's right there behind Edward Kenway. I just feel like because Edward Kenway is doing the thing better, and because it has red, I feel like this one could show it up in the right build. And the second paragraph says, whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage to a player, you may return him from your graveyard to your hand. So not only does it have a way to get the vehicles and stuff into your hand, but it also has a way to get itself out of the graveyard. So this is one of those where, okay, yeah, Edward Kenway may be, kind of up there, but Adewall, he's going to keep coming back if you don't keep exiling him, or if you don't exile him and give him away. And now finally for the last one, Xiao Jun. For 1, a blue and a red, this is a 3/3 legendary creature, human assassin. It has 2 abilities. Leap Strike, as long as it's your turn, she has flying and first strike. And Rope Dart. Tap 2 untapped artifacts you control. Xiao Jun deals 1 damage to each opponent. I feel like if you can consistently just bounce treasures out, just drop them out on the field like it's nobody's business, this deck would go insane. Because, okay, Dockside Extortionist, now your opponents need to watch out because all those treasures have an alternative motive. And if there's a way to tap things to make tokens, this would just almost go infinite with anything if you can tap to make tokens. So, like, say if you could, what is it called? Oh, there's a way to do it. There was a clock and a golem involved where it was just tap and untap. I feel like this would be pretty cool because you can consistently just infinitely untap the artifacts. And I mean, if you're playing on Arena, or if you're playing Kitchen Table, this is something unhinged you can do. Play Paradox Engine. Paradox Engine says whenever you cast any spell, untap every non-land permanent you control. Okay, you get to untap all your creatures and artifacts. Well, guess what? if you play Jorah in this deck, guess what? You get more artifacts. You can just start playing them off the top and just going wild. I feel like this one is going to see more play in the 99 than it is anything else. But I feel like some of these are really Aidwall, Arno, Roshan, and especially Jacob and Eevee Fry. Those are the really unsung heroes for the Assassin's Creed set. But let me know down in the comments below which ones you think, which creatures you think could be the hidden gems of the Assassin's Creed set. I know it wasn't a big set. It was 110 cards in the base set. And that's not including like all the extra stuff like the starter kits, because I didn't want to cover the starter kits because they did kind of the same thing. But I want to know what you guys think, so let me know down in the comments below. I want to thank everybody that has liked, commented, and subscribed to the channel, and that continues to watch content of the channel. You just don't know how much I appreciate it. And if you're watching this video and you're watching this long and you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Go on ahead and hit that subscribe button. Help the channel out. But that is going to be it for today, everybody, and I will see you guys next time in the graveyard.